Let's do this, son. Let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ruin an Hour. Safe place to talk about anything from sobriety, addiction, depression, anxiety, balance in life. My name is Kyle Gray. We are live every now and then. We used to be live once a week, and now we're live just whenever I can find the time to go live. This is a free platform. This is a safe space for anybody to talk about anything they want to talk about. Absolutely anything. Feel free to talk in the chat about anything that you have going on in your life that you may be challenging to you. I am over 3 years sober. So if you guys want to talk to me about any sort of sobriety issues or things that you may be struggling with that front, I would be glad to give you my opinion on those. I'm not a coach by any means, but I do have experience with it, so it could be cool to talk about that. But yeah, what is everybody getting into? How's life for everybody out there? Let me refresh this, see if maybe there's somebody in there. What's up, Amy? Good to see you. Good to see you in here. Sorry, I'm like coordinating sending food to somebody right now, and yeah. But sobriety is a difficult journey for sure. It's also a journey that you can take with other people. You can go to meetings to help yourself get through it, or you can also do it on your own too. You don't need to do it any way, shape, or form. You can only really look at yourself for the power to guide you through it. That's with everything in life. You should never wait to see the end of a path to step towards it. The path should illuminate when you walk it. That's a good quote I heard from somebody, and it really does ring true, that you should always not expect to see the end goal of something and the outcome of something before you start on that trajectory. Just worked a 10-hour shift. Glad to finish it with some Ruin an Hour. The go looking hella fresh today. Thank you, Anthony. I'm actually getting over COVID, so it's surprising that I look okay, because I haven't worked out. I worked out today for the first time in like a couple days. But yeah, it was just I had really mild symptoms, to be honest. I didn't have like any crazy symptoms at all. But one symptom I did have that was really crazy was I had muscle aches, like pretty extreme ones, like in my legs, like where the back of my legs would just get like painfully sore. And that was really the only symptom I had. I didn't have like fever. I didn't have fatigue, anything like that. I got a lot of sleep. I drank a ton of water. I drink about a gallon of water a day. So, yeah, but it's been great. It's been a cool, like, much needed break, to be honest. So I'm very grateful for it, for sure. Shiv, you've been a tremendous help to me. Thank you. 9 months, excuse me. Let me turn this forward so I can see it. 9 months today, moved out of a sober living and have 2 new jobs. Congrats on that, Shiv. That's amazing. Van B, good to see you in here, bro. How you doing, man? Tyrone, what's up, man? How's life? And damn, congrats on 9 months. That's huge. That's really big. And also moving out of sober living. That is amazing, man. Everybody's killing it. Everybody's doing really good. But last July, I caught COVID from a San Diego trip, and those were my symptoms plus the fever aches. Yeah, everybody's symptoms are different, right? I'm vaccinated, so I think that's why my symptoms have been pretty mild. But yeah, this felt like a really mild cold, to be honest with you. It wasn't too intense in the slightest. It wasn't bad at all. So yeah, it wasn't bad. Just coasting through it, man, trying to be as healthy as possible, you know? But yeah. That's pretty much it. How's everybody doing in here? What do you guys want to chit chat about? chit chat, talk. I'm reading nothing of importance right now. I wish I could talk about cool books I'm reading, but I'm reading 2 science fiction books. Desi, what up? Good to see you in here. I'm well. Get some therapy to help with the depressive emotions into my music. That's good, Van B. That's really good. I need to go back to therapy pretty bad. I'm looking forward to getting back in there. Therapy is a wonderful thing, man. I think everybody should do it. Most of the time people look towards going to therapy when they're going through something that's challenging. And I think people should look towards going to therapy always, even in the times that you are the most good, quote unquote. I feel like that's like one of the best times to explore therapy and explore really what's going on within you, because you can approach it from a standpoint of not like, hey, I need to just get out of this uncomfortable feeling, and more so approach it like, okay, let me see what's really behind the veil of myself. Like, how do I really tick, What's up, Avo? Been off my self-care game the last few weeks and can really feel the difference. Yeah, man. When you drop off it really does make a big difference. I mean, I've been I've been sick since Friday, and not even bad, not even going through it, but I can feel the difference. Like, not leaving the house, especially, it's a very weird thing. Not leaving the apartment is super strange. It's a very weird experience. Sister Outspoken's book, it's really good. I need to read that. She gave me a copy. I still need to crack it open. Ryan, what's up? Good to see you in here, bro. I've had an insane week. Bad storm knocked out a tree in a windshield. Started back to work at school. Started working at an indie label. That's tight as hell. Desi, congrats on that. A lot of ups and downs. Yeah, it sounds like it, man. It sounds like it. But there's a lot of ups there. Indie label's dope. You can't predict the weather, right? The weather will be bad when it is bad. You just got to take the good with the bad and roll with the punches. To anyone reading, therapy does help tremendously. It starts pretty rough, but once you let your guard down, it gets amazing. That's true, Van B. Therapy for me was never really rough. It's just really challenging sometimes going into therapy and having you be sort of the navigator. Sometimes I would walk into therapy and be like, expect my therapist just to tell me what to do. Like, hey, I'm paying you. Tell me what to do. Tell me what's wrong with me, And she would try to guide me in a direction for me to figure it out myself, which I think is extremely good. But that's just like a challenge that I faced, is really like navigating it alone. Have to head out. Much love, Shiv. Congrats on the 9 months, man. That's fucking huge. Another job application completed while I'm off work due to COVID. Feeling good. Hell yeah, Shade. That's amazing, dude. Sending you good energy for that. But yeah, man. Yeah. Good vibes all around. Good vibes all around. Let's see. What could we talk about today? So the thing that I mentioned in the title of this video is actually a quote that I really, really love. I was reading this book called Outwitting the Devil. I stopped reading it. No particular reason, mainly because it's just like very dated. And I don't agree with a lot of the things that it talks about, but I'm going to finish it eventually. But Outwitting the Devil, and I love this quote: every adversity brings with it the seed of equivalent advantage. And I really, really dig that quote so much, because whenever you're going through anything that's really difficult, it's very easy to be victimized in that situation, be like, this is so challenging, this is so hard, this sucks, this isn't ideal, of course. But a really healthy way of looking at challenges in your life is looking at them from the viewpoint of, what will I learn? What new doors will open because of this challenge? How will I grow? And that's a perspective that has helped me go through a lot of challenges in my life recently. And I'm not going to say I flew through them at all, because I'm still struggling with a lot of them. But the thing is, when you go through challenges that really do weigh you down, looking at it from the vantage point of, I'm going to grow somehow out of this. I'm going to learn something. and it's going to be advantageous to me in some way, shape, or form. So I think that will help people get through a lot of stuff. Every adversity brings with it the seed of equivalent advantage. I love that quote. Super dope. Yep, Napoleon Hill. Totally. Outwitting the Devil. It's a cool book. Like I said, you should pick it up. It's kind of like geared more towards like job success and like business, but it has some like really good nuggets like that I really, really love. Very dope. The amount of rips, I'm just like, man, okay, I can figure out the car thing. That's true. My therapist says to know who you are is the first step towards growth. I'm keeping that in mind. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, like growth is a lifelong journey, and I feel like I will never really know who I am 100% until the day I die. You know, I feel like I'm going to constantly be learning who I am, trying to let go of my ego, trying to be comfortable being wrong, be comfortable constantly learning and just growing always, which is a super big challenge in itself because I am, at least, I can't say I am a very egotistical person, and a lot of the things I do are attached to my ego a lot. Like, oh, I thought I was this. I thought I was that. I thought I was further in this. I thought I was further in that. I thought I wasn't still depressed because of this. I thought I still wasn't heartbroken over this, you know, like, and the thing is, it's like, it's all a journey. There is no set standards on where you should be in life or where you need to be at this exact moment. This exact moment is the moment you're supposed to be in. The universe placed you right here, and you're supposed to be right here. I'm supposed to be right here talking with you guys. I'm not supposed to be doing anything else. So having some solace in the universe being sort of the like ideal master of the terrain, and not being regretful, remorseful about you not being in any other position, it's pretty challenging. It's very challenging. So especially when, you know, stuff like you feel like isn't going your way, or like comparison is the biggest thing. Comparison is the thief of joy. And a lot of what we do every day in life is based in comparison. Social media in general, the foundation of social media is comparison. Oh, let me compare my life to this person's life. And oftentimes you're comparing your greatest weakness to somebody's greatest strength. Like, oh, I'm comparing my wealth to this person whose entire life is based around getting wealthy, you know, or I'm comparing my loneliness to this person's relationship that seems to be doing so well, or their family, you know. And it definitely is FOMO for sure. It's based all in FOMO, in comparison, and it's easy to fall into that. But have I battled addiction? I have. I am sober from alcohol, but I don't do any drugs. I'm also a sex addict as well. So being sober from that is a lot different because I don't really know like how a lot of people would quantify being sober from that, but I would say that I have a healthy grasp on that addiction now. So I got FOMO. I don't have, to be honest, I don't really experience FOMO that much. Sometimes I do. On the holidays, I do a lot. Like, when I first got sober, I experienced FOMO pretty heavily on New Year's, because New Year's used to be such like a fun holiday where you could just throw inhibition to the wind and kind of just go crazy and hang out with a lot of people. And I think as I've gotten older, I've gotten more used to like not having a social circle and like having a lot of friends and like being like, okay, it's the weekend, I need to go kick it with the homies. Like, I don't do that anymore. I don't have friends to go hang out with, you know. It's like I have family that I see every now and then. That's like, and I have like acquaintances, but I think it's just like getting used to a lifestyle, right? My FOMO is usually around relationships, parents, family, stuff that I don't have with raising my kids. Desi, so when you say you have FOMO around family, since you have a family of your own, you have children, what does that look like when you say you have FOMO around family? I feel like me choosing to chill means I'm missing out on success. Bravo. Okay, so interesting. You choosing to chill means missing out on success. Um, yeah, for sure. I can see that perspective, but um, I think a lot of the times in our society, we're and like I'm super guilty of this too. I used to want to get never sleep tattooed on my fucking wrist because I was so into just like working all the time and like never slowing down. And nowadays, I'm a lot more along the lines of like I give my time, I give a healthy work and life balance, right? I work a lot. I do work more than most people do, but the thing is I also like give a lot of time to myself. I'm at the gym for a lot more than a lot of people are, and that's me time. It's very important to give yourself time to rest, to sleep. I heard a fitness instructor say this recently about people that like cut their sleep short in order to like wake up and do cardio. And I thought this quote was really awesome. They say it's like stepping over $100 bills to pick up quarters because sleep is so integral to healing, to your body rejuvenating itself, that you trying to get fit and then cutting your sleep short makes zero sense. And you can apply that to even like what you're saying with success is to be successful, you do need to rest. I know that a lot of people like to jump on the bandwagon of like, oh, Elon Musk only slept for like 4 hours a night for however long. And the thing is, that's all cool, but yo, how much of your life did that shave off? Because that's insanely unhealthy to work that hard for that amount of time, to not sleep. You need sleep. You need to eat healthy. You need to be good to yourself physically. So, yeah. FOMO hit hard around the holidays when I see people spending time with their aunts and parents and stuff. Like I'm going to the matriarch eventually, and it's lonely right now. Yeah, I totally understand that. I understand that. Makes a lot of sense. It's like you're always like kind of lonely about what you don't have, right? It's like, I'm single and I know there's a great reason why I'm single. And I'm emotionally unable to open myself up to somebody. But at the same time, it's like there definitely are times that I'm like, oh man, that would be so nice. That would be so great. And the holidays are a big one, right? When you see families happy and you see people just like around each other and wanting to be in each other's presence. Gratitude helps me with FOMO. I'm able to focus and be present what I have now. That's very true. That's very true. Gratitude's a big one. Gratitude is like one of the most important tools you can use to not only be present, but also really be grateful for the simple things. It's like since I've been locked inside, with COVID, I started practicing gratitude for like really, really small things, like being able to sleep, like in a bed. Like the fact that I own a bed is a big thing to me. I'm like, oh, I have this bed that's mine, that I can sleep, that I can rest my head in. The fact that it's really nuts too, like to think about even COVID, because to think that this happened now is pretty incredible. But think about if COVID hit in like the 80s when like people couldn't order groceries off this. Like everything didn't come on this thing. Like I couldn't just open this up and be like, I need food. Boom, food. I need to have interactions with people. I'll go live. I'll talk to people. Like imagine, and also news, like how slow the news came. But yeah, practicing gratitude for simple stuff goes really far. Like I'm grateful that I have a shower that I can like be clean in, that I have soap, that I like have dishes that I can eat off of, I'm grateful that I live alone, like that I don't have a roommate that's bad, or I'm not in a relationship that like I'm causing this other person extreme trauma. There's a lot of things to be grateful for right now. Those conditions affect more people than we know. Do I make animations? I do not. Sleep, rest, exercise, and diet. Almost everything branches off from those. That's true, Ryan. It's very true. Sleep, exercise, and diet. eating good, so you're ingesting good stuff for your body, sleeping 8 hours a night, and exercise are utmost importance for sure. Opening myself to somebody again seems so far away. Totally agree. I have no idea when the fuck that will ever happen, to be honest. It seems very unrealistic, but the thing is, it will. It's like, to think that we know what we want is so unrealistic, because we don't know what we want. All we want is familiarity. All we ever want is the familiar. Like, oh, I liked this before, so I'm going to like it again, right? I feel like I'm grateful, but I don't take advantage of it efficiently. Bravo. That seems like you're still like kind of like efficiently. What makes you think that you don't take care of it efficiently or take advantage of it? Are you working from home? Yep, I'm working from home right now. Luckily, the place I work at is amazing, and they're paying me, and I have a machine that I'm working from home, so I'm doing VFX, and I'm also doing battle rap too. So I'm streaming all the King of the Dot stuff from home, so I'm really grateful. Really amazing, for sure. Let's look at 1820 when the Spanish flu hit. They still lived like no lockdowns and then had a vaccine. There was community then too, so neighbors helped, unlike now. That's true. Let's see that. Yeah, I definitely it is kind of funny, with this whole COVID thing, it is interesting. It's very interesting, for sure. In Arabic, there's a saying, be grateful for what you have, be patient with what you don't have. I like that. I like that, Mobo. That's really cool. That's really dope. Patience. Patience is a difficult virtue, right? Very difficult. Nowadays, I struggle with patience a lot. I have the word patience actually printed out on my bedroom because I'm so terrible with it. I'm a very impatient person in general, and I'm a very sporadic person, and I'm a very extreme person. I always want results. I always want to just go fucking full into something and do it. You can see that with everything I do. But patience is something that's really difficult to exercise, but it is so beneficial. I'm grateful to be willing and able, but I should be working out and bettering my future instead of just getting by. So bravo. I read this book called, fuck. What is it called? Maybe I'll look it up and find exactly what it was called. Let's see. The Art of Letting Go, maybe, I think. Yeah, maybe is it The Art of Letting Go? Yeah, The Power of Letting Go. There we go. I read this book called The Power of Letting Go. Let's see. Power of Letting Go. Let go of shoulds. Let's see. Okay, so I just read this book called The Power of Letting Go, and a big portion of it talks about letting go of shoulds. And shoulds are freeing words. Sometimes when we feel uncomfortable emotions, shoulds get in the way when we think there is only one way, a right way to feel about something. Learning to let go of shoulds when it comes to your emotions will allow you to feel more joy and more connected to your human experience. So you saying that you should be doing this instead of just getting by, is basically doing nothing good for you. It's not helping you at all. When you have a mindset, you should always think of how is this serving me? Thinking of I should be doing this. I should be doing that. That doesn't actually help you at all. All that does is feed into anxiety, and it's not serving you in any manner. Let's see if I can click this open. Often when we encounter a feeling, there's a should attached to it. You're upset because you just broke your wrist, but you tell yourself you should be grateful you don't have a worse injury or illness. You start crying at work about a deceased loved one and tell yourself you shouldn't be crying in a professional setting. You are hurt, frustrated when a friend bails on you again, but you tell yourself you shouldn't be bothered by it. There are a myriad of examples of how we should all over ourselves when it comes to our emotions. Instead of recognizing, accepting, or embracing the way we do or feel, we try to push ourselves out of that emotion into another, usually a more socially acceptable emotion. Telling yourself that you shouldn't feel your emotion or the natural and normal expression of emotions rarely works. Why shoulds don't work? As my mom used to tell me when I was little, emotions just are. This is This is why trying to control our emotions through shoulds or shouldn't rarely works. We have little control over what we feel. Emotions occur because of something we observe, something that happens to us, or something we feel physically. Of course, we can control to some degree our emotional expression, such as whether you yell when you're angry or cry when you're sad, but the actual emotion felt internally just happens in response to some stimulus. Its existence is beyond our control. Wanting or trying to make emotions go away usually doesn't change that emotion. That emotion still exists. We might just be ignoring it or trying to cover it up. But I like that. I like kind of trying to let go of shoulds. I think it's good. EJ, appreciate that. Just saying stuff. I need to put it into action. Great advice. Yeah, man. I mean, the thing is though, don't like lean too far into that of like, I should be this, I should be that, because it sounds like it's kind of based in comparison, right? Like I should be farther in my life. I should be this, because like you could compare everything in your life to something greater, right? I could compare myself to like, I'm 30, I'm going to be 37 this year. I'm almost 40. You know, I still live in an apartment. I'm single, don't have a family. I've fucked up every relationship I've been in. Yeah, I mean, I could look at myself and be like, I should be this, I should be that. Thing is though, I'm right where I need to be. I have an amazing career that I love. I film rap battles for a living. Like, no, I couldn't ask for something more amazing than that. I work on myself every day. I live in Los Angeles. I can go to the gym whenever I want to. Like, there's so much good when you lean into the good and be grateful for what you have. Also not helping, it's just comparing and not doing any action. Yeah, exactly. Totally, man. Totally agree with that. Like if you're like stifled by an inaction, maybe you could just try to do something, but don't lead that action with the movement of expectation behind it. Because that's where it might get a little bit tricky, is like, actions riddled with expectation. When I was training, blah, 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 instead of shoulding, accepting an emotion is certainly easier said than done. The shoulds often creep in almost unnoticed, as they may be second nature to us. So when we notice yourself judging your emotions, thinking that you should or shouldn't be feeling some way, or blaming yourself or others for this emotion, what can you do to stop that nearly automatic thought process? First, try to name the emotion you're feeling. I feel really sad right now. If your mind is accustomed to being blocked in by shoulds, as soon as an uncomfortable emotion pops up, simply naming whatever you're feeling can be extremely validating. Recognizing and validating your emotions doesn't mean you have to express it outwardly, but simply saying to yourself, I'm angry. Also, so that's something that I've also read, that it's better to not say I'm angry, because then you're associating yourself with that emotion. You're saying I am this emotion, but it's better to say I feel angry right now. I'm feeling sad currently, because when you start saying I'm sad, I'm angry, then you start saying I am these emotions, and that's not true. Emotions are not you. Emotions are transient things that don't last. So next, you can be curious about that emotion. Instead of jumping to shoulds, or even if you've already jumped, stop and name the emotion. Then ask yourself why you might feel this way. Wonder at why this is an uncomfortable emotion that you are desperate to get past, or that you should judge yourself for feeling. Be curious about why you feel this emotion, any shoulds place on it. Finally, notice how you feel while placing shoulds, judgment, or blame on the emotion versus how you feel when you just let the emotion exist. Chances are you'll notice that you feel physically tighter and tenser than shoulding yourself, while you feel lighter and looser when accepting an emotion. That's also called emotion surfing as well. When you feel an emotion come up, and you let yourself just feel it, because the worst thing that's ever going to happen with any emotion coming up is a feeling. That's the worst thing that's going to happen when emotion creeps up, is a feeling. It's the worst possible thing that can happen. If you lean into the emotion and do an action based on that emotion, many different things can happen. But an emotion just coming up in yourself, the worst thing that will happen is you just feeling that, and it will pass. Emotions pass. They're transient. So if you emotion surf, when an emotion comes up and you just let the wave go out and crash and eventually cascade and die out, then you can reevaluate the emotion once it's gone and you're in a different state of mind. Don't only do it because I feel like I should do it. I know it needs to happen. Biggest thing I'm working on is how to let go of expectations. The need of validation makes my work suffer. Definitely, man. Definitely. And that's a big thing is searching for the need of validation. It's all kind of rooted within the ego, right? And the ego is a big fucking thing. I have a tremendous ego. The need for validation for me is a big one. Like it's a huge one. And letting go of expectations is a fucking really difficult one to grasp too. And the thing is, expectations are nothing more than delusional versions of reality. They don't exist. Expectations are like some fantasy that we dreamt up in our mind that we're like expecting this thing to happen because of this, you know? So it already sets yourself up for failure because you're already leaning into a delusion right off the cuff through an action. Let's see, letting go of expectations. How to let go of expectations in life. Acknowledge your disappointment. If you're disappointed, allow yourself to be disappointed without trying to blame anyone else for the way you're feeling. Interesting. If you feel your expectations cause you great disappointment and frustration, learn when they are not realized. You need to learn to let go and live in a more flexible way. Generally, our expectations are focused on the future and involve events or people. Our mind does not like to deal with uncertainty, and it creates predictions how we would like an event to unfold or a person to act. There are expectations we create for ourselves and expectations we hold for others. As we create a particular outcome in our mind's eye, we attach certain feelings towards that expectation. The more significant an event or a person is, the stronger the feelings we can feel towards our predictions. Expectations can come either from ourselves or from others. But yeah, it's difficult. It's really difficult to let go of expectations, man. I completely understand that. Blue, what's up? Good to see you in here. You can say whatever you want. Young Yeek, good to see you, bro. Delete your social media accounts for a while. If you're always comparing yourself to others, that helps too. Louis, I would say, yeah, I'm not on social media anymore, and it benefits me to a great deal, like a lot. I love not being on social media. I love not knowing what people are angry about. I love not knowing what the latest meme is. Because that shit does not matter at all. Trust, it does not make your life any better knowing that shit. And it's very liberating being off of it. Did you ever used to pick yourself apart when you watched yourself on camera? And how did you get over it because you're super comfortable in front of one? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. First of all, thank you, Young Eek. I don't know if I ever really picked myself apart on camera. I think I just kind of like, know that I'm not cool. And like, I'm not trying to be cool. Like I am who I am. I'm just some like dorky fucking, white kid who likes, battle rap, sports, and fucking anime. So it's like, I know I'm not trying to be like a cool guy or like have people want to be me or anything like that. I'm just, I guess like just trying to be who I am in the moment. And it's also great that like what you do, all these like compilations of like the Ruin Your Day stuff that you do. I was just watching one last night. I really love it because I can see, the change in myself, and I can go back and look, and even like how I used to talk, was so different, was so much more aggressive and muddled and centered in like ego and narcissistic even kind of. And I love that. I love that I can see the growth on camera. It's wonderful to me. I don't look back on it with like shame or remorse or embarrassment. If anything, I look back on it with pride of how far the path has taken me currently. Memes and TikTok give me a little serotonin. I mean, fuck, if they do, that's good. I look at TikTok and oh man, that shit hurts my brain. I wish I was never on social media. It's hard fighting my own demons. Yeah, it's really difficult. I hate seeing myself on camera. Yeah, it's not easy, right? It's not easy at all, especially when you're going through some stuff. I appreciate you, bro. I have a 4.5 years. I have a 4.5 years clean. My boy just relapsed and he's got some serious brain damage. Sorry to hear that, Planet. That's horrible. Congrats on 4.5 years clean. I'm sorry to hear about your friend. That's really tragic. Are you there for him? Are you being around him during this time? I only promote on social media. Can't stand the oversharing, insincere conversations, and copy-paste approach to everything that's been old. Yeah, totally agree about that. Totally agree. Man, yes, I noticed that when I edit them, you used to say, like, fuck yeah, instead of just being like, hell yeah. Yeah, I used to be, I mean, I still am probably a big asshole for sure. But I'm trying to be a lot more empathetic, a lot more kind to people, understanding. Empathy is a thing that I've really tried to grow. And if you guys have any tips on how to be more empathetic, I would love to hear them. I was watching the old watch videos. You've grown, brother. Thanks on your journey. Tyrone, thank you, man. I have PPD and I'm working on getting better. Blue, keep up the good work, man. You're doing amazing. Overshadow, I've been in close contact with his wife, but he didn't want to pick up the phone for me. Word. Well, I'm glad you're in contact with his wife. That's an amazing thing. That's good. That's incredible. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Much love to everybody. Sorry it's been so long that I've not done one of these. But just, life, like now that I work 2 jobs now. So I do visual effects during the day and then I do battle rap on the weekends. And I'm only going to do this for about probably a year because I'm trying to do some stuff. I'm trying to basically get out of debt and change my life a little bit. I might move back to Colorado to be closer to my family. And yeah, so sorry I've just been so busy, but much love to everybody out there. Believe Alpha Filming gives the Battle of Comfort Zone. They need to perform. Appreciate that, Van B. Much love to everybody out there. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to do a round for round tomorrow with Geechee Gotti and Jay the Nightwing. Much love. See you guys.